We got our first $10 million revenue faster than we ever expected. We hit this in our first year, and most people assumed this was just a straight clean line up. No, it was not. It almost broke us. We almost quit. So today I will be sharing you the exact strategy and story on how we hit $10 million revenue in our first year of e-commerce. No mirror board, no crazy things, just the real story. But before we dive into that, I will cover why most people will never even reach close to that number. There's 3 fundamental things when getting started that will decide whether or not you will get there. It's not about talent, it was all about hard work. Bryan and I put in hours and hours and hours without seeing any return until it all clicked. And this is the exact position you should be aiming for. So first thing, most people start underfunded. We have another video on how much we would advise to get started with, but most people actually run out before their first winner. With just a couple of $100, you're not gonna make it in Google as dropshipping, and that's not something I would advise to get started on, because Google is an algorithm, it needs data, you need to buy it at first to then start being profitable and to start literally printing. So most people, they start with not enough money, and by the time they would turn profitable, they already run out of funds. So by doing that, they were not able to commit fully. Now they could have put in all the work, but if you don't have any funds, then yeah, it's gonna be super hard. Now you don't need crazy funds, but like I've mentioned, there's a whole video, but if you have between 2 and 5k, that's perfect, literally. So most people quit right before it works. People see our first 10 million in the first year as if we did some magic trick and we got rich overnight. No. First of all, 10 million revenue doesn't mean that you get rich. It's a lot of revenue. It doesn't mean, or it doesn't equal profits. But that aside, it took us 4 to 5 months being on Google before actually started printing. We were profitable before. It was very low volume. We were having a lot of daily struggles. And this is also the lesson I want to give in this video, because most people, they stop within the first 6 months. And we've seen it over and over again with ourselves, with our friends, with people that we teach or that we help in their program. Basically, everyone stops, or everyone hits their real goals in the first 6 months. For some people it's 3 months, for some people it's 5 months, for some it's 6 months, but it's always 6 months. If you dedicate everything you got 6 months into one thing or into one goal you want to reach, you will for sure hit it. So most people stop after 1 or 2 months and think, maybe I got overhyped, or maybe it's not true or whatsoever. But I can promise you, if you just get into Google as dropshipping, you give your full dedication, you put in the hours, you're not afraid to really work hard, then there's no way that within the first 6 months you will not see the first initial success. And then last but not least, they don't build any processes or systems. Now you can scale very hard and very fast in e-commerce, but if you're not building the right systems or the right workflows or the right operations and team, you're not gonna make it. You will get to very high volumes very quickly. You can scale to millions of dollars every month or every quarter, or how much you want to think about. But most people do this without building a proper backend, without building a team. And by doing this, you will end up in so much trouble with your customer service, with your disputes, with your payment processing, with your suppliers, that you will just have to stop because you're bankrupt. So always make sure to first build the systems and only then start scaling. Google has this period where you are in the learning period. Most people are just sitting back and watching and thinking they cannot do anything, but that's the exact point when or where you should build the real systems, the real team, and the real backend. Now, also a lot of people get really comfortable really fast or start spending any money they have made or think they have made in the first few months of hitting their first few results. And this is also how we see people go bankrupt, because your actual P&L, the day-to-day P&L that you're filling in, will record some profits, but these profits will not always show up in the bank because there's always hidden costs or unavoidable other things that are coming into play and that you have to pay. Now, a lot of people make their first 10k day and start spending in the club, start buying Louis Vuitton, stuff like that. This is like the exact recipe how to not do e-commerce. If you're doing e-commerce, you want to make something long-term out of this, you should reinvest every single euro profit as long as possible. Bryan and I, we were doing e-commerce for 6 to 8 months before we even started taking any money out. Now, okay, were we going to have a nice dinner sometimes to celebrate? Yes, it's important. But you didn't catch up spending money in the club at the first few months because it's just ridiculous. You need to reinvest every single euro profit you have at the beginning stage just for you to be able to have this compound effect. And this is where the real money is made in e-commerce. If you keep taking out money, we've seen people barely be profitable but still allowing themselves a wage when it's even unnecessary, when they still live with their parents, you know, it's ridiculous. No, you want to really create this compound effect. How do you do that? Reinvest every single euro profit, and that's how you can go from 0 to 10 million a year. But now let me tell you an exact story and let you guide through how we got started with Google Ads, what went good, what went bad, so that you exactly understand what mistakes we made and how you can learn from it. So first things first, we got started with Google Ads in January 2025. Actually, we stumbled upon it because back in the day it was not as popular as it is right now. We were in ecom a couple of months before that. We already had a Q4 of Meta. Things weren't going as planned. Yeah, January we stumbled upon Google. We met someone. He said, oh, maybe you want to try Google. We were like, okay, why not? We have basically nothing to lose. We're already spending and burning cash on Meta anyway. Why not try Google? It's always a good thing, right? To stay open-minded, to try new things, and then look down on one strategy. But yeah, first store, it was ugly, it was basic, but we kept it live. We kept it spending money on Google Ads just for us to get and see whether or not we could get some initial results. Now, I think this was our strength because at the beginning, Bryan and I, we were very ridiculously impulsive in any decision. It was like, okay, should we do this? Okay, let's go, boom, ready. Where other people might spend days or weeks or months about thinking whether it's gonna be a good decision or not. Bryan and I, we just hopped in, boom, ready to start doing with Google Ads, even though we haven't even spoken to real people doing actual real results at Google. No, it was one friend that I met online that mentioned maybe you should have a look in Google. Boom, got on a call with a media buyer, boom, onboarded, boom, start spending money on Google Ads. And then 2 to 4 weeks, no results, but still continuing because we wanted to give it a fair shot. You cannot judge any strategy just by doing or applying it for 1 week. No, you got to give it some time, got to give it some ad spend. And that's actually what really got us ahead. And that's what still to this day gets us ahead. It's because we're on speed, and speed beats perfection every single day of the week. A lot of people trying to have everything perfect on their store. Everything needs to look nice, everything needs to look branded, everything needs to be perfectly organized. But that's not how you get to the real volumes. These are all things that you can do later. But whether your store has got 5 or 10 hours of designing time into it, the last 5 hours are not gonna have the same impact. It's called the 20-80 rule, right? With 20% of the input, you can reach 80% of the outcome. So just by doing 20% of the work, you already have the biggest part of the outcome. And this is exactly what you need. Now, I'm not telling you to not take a look at your website, but you don't need to perfectionist it like crazy because it's not gonna be the game changer for anything. We started in January, then by February, we started getting some sales. By March, we started scaling. So mind this, right? It's already a 3-month period before we actually started scaling. But from end of March and beginning of April, it went nuts. It went bananas. We went to 1 million in our 4th month of Google Ads, which is April. So we did 1 million revenue in that month. And then boom, everything back to zero. We built a team, but we had to pay them. We had to keep paying them when we were on zero revenue. We had everything in place. We thought we were the man. We went to Monaco, celebrate Monaco F1 last year. We really thought we were on top of the world, and then boom, all of your income, all of your revenue back to zero. Now, this was a very, very bad time for us. We thought we were prepared. We were scaling on 2 stores, but in 1 week, they both collapsed, back to zero, back to the drawing board. When we were supposed to have our biggest party or party week of the year in Monaco F1, we were actually there with a very bad mindset, because we fell back to zero revenue. We still had, let's say, 5 to 10K in monthly costs for our employees. The refunds started coming in because obviously refunds are a lagging indicator. So that means that whenever someone places an order today, if you have to refund them, it will not be today or tomorrow. No, it will be 2 to 4 to 6 weeks from now on. So we started literally seeing our bank account go down step by step, step by step. So you can imagine how hard this time would have been. Now, I'm not gonna say that we were about to give up because we knew we hit it once. It's just a matter of time until we can do it again. We saw the potential, we kept our head down, we kept on motivating each other. That's a good part about being 2 business partners. One could have a bad day, but the other one could motivate or carry, and vice versa. So it's very important. But this is a big lesson, right? Revenue is vanity, cash flow is survival, and actually having the cash flow in place and having a good management and a good insight, you can actually predict and go ahead and have some more peace of mind. I knew back in that time that, okay, we're losing money every week right now for refunds, for team expenses, but we still have so many weeks left before we really are in any danger zone. Back in that time, we also didn't have any salaries for ourselves, nothing. So we knew now we need to get our head down. We need to really reverse engineer what brought us here. We need to find out how we exactly got here. And once we can do that, we are set and we will never get the same mistake. I'm not gonna lie, we got a little bit comfortable as well before that. So that's also, I think it's something that everyone needs to go through. They need to get comfortable at least once to then know what they've lost, build it again, and never get comfortable again. So what happened next? So April, boom, worst month of our lives. The revenue back to zero. And then Q2, the rest of Q2 and Q3 was really dedicated to any preparation. We were hoping to have a store or doing 1 million month again by end of summer. Now, unfortunately, the niche we're in is fashion, Google Dropshipping. Fashion demand in summer is way lower. So unfortunately, it took a little longer as expected, but we started building more stores. We knew back then, okay, we only had 2 stores. We had too much eggs in one basket. We need to have 10 or 15 stores that bring us the same amount of revenue. That means that we have way less risk for any suspensions, or when suspensions happen, we will never get back to zero. That's the main goal up until this day. Everything we do in the business or how we act is always in terms of never getting back to zero revenue every single month. The more the better, but don't take ridiculous risks to focus on one thing because it might all change overnight. Now, Q2, Q3 was preparation season. We had about 5 to 10 stores live by end of Q3 going into Q4, and this is where everything started changing again, because Q4 was where we again started having more momentum, and this is where we again started scaling. And to be honest, up until now, which is July 2026, we have been hitting $1 million revenue months or even above, even 2 million one month and almost close to 3 million just by this strategy or putting our heads down in Q2 and Q3 last year. This is actually a good lesson that you need to put your head down. You need to plant the seeds. And in Q4, everything started clicking again, and we've never been down again, and we're not planning on going down ever again like that. So Q4 was crazy. We even did a 161K revenue day on Black Friday. We should crush it this year as well. We're already doing the preparations for it. But basically, this is to give you an image, right? It was 2025 was really a curve like this where we went up, 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 boom, April, zero or even negative. And then slowly but steady, we went back up. And then from Q4 on, the curve really goes bananas. And it's actually crazy what we've been hitting since then. Also because we changed all of our operations, all of our workflows. We had to let go of some people that were with us back then as well in the team. But it was a switch from surviving to scaling again. And now we can really focus on building the systems even better. And yeah, just optimizing everything or any aspect in the business for us to now even double or triple that. Also, the lesson in here is the turning point didn't come from putting in more hours. No, it was from changing up how we worked. So the first time was perhaps a bit lucky in April. We didn't really know what we were doing. But then by Q4, we exactly knew, okay, we need more stores. We need to go deeper into the feed because this is actually where we will scale or not scale the business. And all of these small pieces made us the puzzle where we are at today. So knowing everything we know today, what would I have done different? Well, back then there was not a lot of content on YouTube or anywhere about Google Ads. Everything we was doing dropshipping or e-commerce was mainly focusing on Meta. So it was less accessible. Right now there's so much out there on YouTube, but make sure to really pick who you're learning from. There's a lot of gurus out there, but my key message here, if I would have to restart from scratch, I would just go crazy on YouTube, watch every single strategy. If I would start over again, I would really just go very deep into free education. But yeah, you really need to make sure that you don't just trust anyone online, because there's also a lot of results faking, stuff like that. Also, don't just trust anyone in e-commerce. We've made plenty of mistakes where we started trusting the wrong guys who just were there to take advantage from us. You want to have this balance with anyone you meet where you give insights, but you also get insights. And if there's not a balance, if it's too much giving and not enough getting, well, you need to let go of these people, because a lot of people in e-commerce are trying to backstab you every single day, are just trying to squeeze some information out of you and never give you anything in return. I would also focus on building a bigger buffer, because maybe if we would have had more cash flow back in the day, we would have avoided getting our 2 stores down and already invested in more stores. If I could change anything, I would also make sure to have a little bit more of a buffer, so that whenever this happens where you go back to zero, that you are less stressed and still more comfortable, so that you don't end up panicking like crazy, which is obviously a normal effect of getting back to zero revenue. Now also, I would build my backend earlier. The first time it was alright, the backend, but it was not pitch perfect. Now I would really take the warm-up phase from Google, the exact like 2 to 4 weeks, to really build and prepare my backend for any upcoming volume. Also, when you're scaling, make sure that your team is up to date, that your team is really knowing what's coming at them. Because at the end of the day, we can keep scaling in the front end, but if the customer service department doesn't know that there's more volume coming, you end up in any problems eventually. Now it's your turn. Stop watching, start getting the information, start consuming more information, because how we made $10 million in the first year was not rocket science. It was actually just hard work, a lot of speed, a lot of trust in each other, getting stuff done, and that's how we got here today. Now it's 2026 July. We already crossed 10 million this year. We're probably gonna double it from what we did last year, but that's not relevant for this video because you guys can achieve literally anything also in your first year if you dedicate the exact hours and systems into it. Now, if you're looking for some extra tips and guidance, we also have a paid school community where we teach people from A to Z our exact strategies and blueprint. Now, I'm not gonna force you to join it, but it's $249 a month and you can literally get everything or any mistake we made, but then in a deeper breakdown in there, so you don't have to make it yourself. That being said, it's gonna be the first link down there, so make sure to subscribe, like this video, and see you guys in the next video. Ciao.